The official reveal trailer for EA Sports College Football 25 dropped yesterday, and it was incredible, in a word. And yes, I know, I reacted to it on Twitter, and of course I get the, you say the same thing every year with Madden, like blah, blah, blah. But like, hey, I'm gonna get excited about things that look good. Obviously, I can't play the game super far in advance. It's fun to get excited about things, so we're gonna react to the trailer here. I really do think it was awesome. Now, what is this actually going to be like? We're going to talk about some of the features later, but let's just go ahead and start with the reveal trailer. Got Welcome to the Jungle on. Hopefully this video is not blocked worldwide. I don't care if I don't make any revenue from it, whatever. But I think Welcome to the Jungle that's going to pop in really makes this feel electric. And I think they did a really good job nailing the environment and the atmosphere and the hype. You got the helicopters flying in to start as Welcome to the Jungle hits. And then, of course, you got all these teams walking out, obviously. Horns up. You guys know the deal. I think there are a number of small details to watch for in these trailers that you might not notice on a first watch that now I've watched it a few times. I feel like I notice more and more. And the transition into the trumpets, electric. I mean, it really is. The crowds look better. Now, it's going to be amped up for the trailer. Now, this is all gameplay. I asked around. This is all from the game. None of this is done just for the trailer. None of it's cheating. It's all actually from the game. Now, of course, you can edit it together and make it seem fast-paced and electric, but it's all from the game. Now, I'll say this, right? Some of the intro trailers, those might be from the game, but the intros are amped up and the quality's turned up and there's more blur on the background to make it seem, you know, even more high quality. This is a flashback to last year. Jalen Milroe hit 007. Isaiah Bond to the end zone to beat Auburn. That was a huge win. Isaiah Bond now Texas Longhorn legend. Hopefully, we'll see. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the more intricate details that happened during this trailer. I know I talked over it a lot. But so the intros that I'm talking about, these are all what was pre-made. Like, you know, what I said, the quality's been boosted. So this is a crazy shot of Howard's Rock here as you go to Death Valley in Clemson. You see the sun creeping through. Like, that's done explicitly. Are you going to get the lighting and angles like this in the actual game? Like, yeah, for the intro, but when you're actually out in the field, is it going to look quite like that? Maybe not. Now, I know there were a number of small things here. Of course, the lighting is excellent in all of the intros. That was a huge focus because lighting can really control, you know, how great something looks. There was an angle, I don't know if it's just an image that they released or if it was actually in the trailer, come to think of it, but there's an angle of Oklahoma getting ready to walk out. It's not this, and you can see raindrops on the helmet that look really, really sharp. Let me find that. Okay, so it's actually on the website. So I guess we'll just go ahead and talk about those here. So this is a pretty high quality image that's actually from the game. It's actually from the intro, and you can see, I know it's a small detail, not a lot of people are going to care about this, but you can see the raindrops on the helmet. I think it's a small detail. This looks like incredibly realistic, I feel like, for the most part. Obviously, this hand doesn't look like a real person's hand, but it's pretty close. I don't know. It's just the small details I think they really seem to crush. But let's go over some of the concerns already. So some of the things that I saw, and this is not me saying, oh, the game's going to be perfect. Please give EA your money. Wait, see what people are saying. You don't pre-order the game. Do whatever you want to do, right? I don't really care. But a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just a Madden reskin. We'll talk about it more in a minute when we talk about the actual details. But I don't think it's going to be a Madden reskin. We just have to think that these are two football games coming out at about the same time. This is what the technology looks like. It's the game of football. You're not making a new game in terms of, you know, the actual sport is what it is, right? You're going to have helmets. You're going to have gear. You're not making a new sport. Football, pretty much at this level in 2024 from a really top tier developer in terms of, you know, resources and things like that. You know, AAA, I think is the term. It's going to look a certain way. It's still football. Oh, that tackle animation was in Madden. Well, it's a tackle. I don't really know what you want to happen. Tackles are going to look like tackles when made to be in a video game. That's just the first thing. Now, I know there was a focus on not only, making it feel different than Madden, but also faster paced. Like, more electricity is kind of the only thing I can say. Like, more explosive plays, more fun, can I say that? And that is one of the things that college football has on the NFL. There's a way bigger disparity in between talent that's on the field simultaneously. The NFL, everyone's great. The game moves faster because everybody moves fast, but at the college level, the better players move faster because they're way better than some of the other players on the field. So the college game, I would say, is more fast-paced appearing, even though the NFL game is definitely faster because everybody's faster. But the disparity between, the top and the bottom is hugely different, way, way wider of a scale in college football. And of course, you have some more explosive plays as a result. You have the crowds getting way more rowdy because you have the history of either going to the school or being raised as a fan. And you have more people in the stadiums as well. You have college stadiums that, can fit 100,000+ people. You look at College Station for the Aggies. You look at the Big House in Michigan. You look at, the Bounce House at UCF. You have so many different college stadiums that feature 100,000 people or more. And I'm not sure the Bounce House quite fits 100K plus, but it could. I know DKR for Texas is 100,000 plus sometimes. So, these college stadiums are going to fit a lot more than what you get at the NFL level, which is like, 50 or 60,000 sometimes more, but that's typically where it's going to be. The crowds are rowdier. You have the student sections, which you're typically not going to have at an NFL game. You can get some college age kids there to be rowdy, but not the actual college student sections that the college game has. There's a lot more pride. There's a lot more going on. There's a lot more history. The mascots are crazier, obviously. And I think for me, nailing the atmosphere of the college experience is going to be a big difference maker. I know the gameplay is super important, but that's going to be a big thing, is making it feel like a college football Saturday. You know what I mean? So if we go here to EA.com, you can see EA College Football 25 Bring Glory Home will be available July 19th. I think you get it 3 days early if you pre-order. Again, I wouldn't necessarily recommend pre-ordering unless you really got to play it early. If you're on the fence, definitely wait to see what people are saying first. But we'll start with Campus IQ, trademarked, gameplay. The Campus IQ gameplay feature set introduces an all-new composure system, player wear and tear, screen shaking home field advantages, and dozens of diverse playstyles across 134 FPS teams. So if we check out the gameplay features here, we have true college gameplay powered by a wide range of player ratings that fluctuate throughout a game, which to me reads as if maybe a player starts out as a 75 overall, maybe he catches a touchdown, maybe he gets a +5 boost, maybe your 95 overall player's having a rough start to the game, either as a corner that's been getting picked on, maybe his ratings continue to drop over the course of the game, maybe he gets tired through wear and tear and isn't playing up to that same level that maybe we're used to. So that's kind of what that means to me. How that's actually going to appear in the game, we'll have to see. Maybe it could get up to +15 overall if you're having a crazy game. I'm not even sure what the qualifications would be to get that boost, or even get a subtraction or a nerf on your player. That'll be interesting to see. You have team tiers and new in-game passing mechanics, which I don't know if they're advertising this as new to the college football game, because everything would be new, because we haven't seen a college football game since NCAA 14 from EA. So is this not just going to be precision passing from Madden? I don't know. Team tiers, I think, is just like you got your 5 or even 6-star programs like we saw in NCAA 14, and your 1-star programs and everything in between. That's what I'm guessing that's going to be. So maybe you don't even have overalls. You just have team tiers, but I imagine the overall is going to factor in. You'd have to think, right? EA Sports College Football 25 delivers strategic, fast-paced gameplay reflecting the true depth of college football. So I know fast-paced is a huge focus. This game will be faster than Madden. The gameplay speed is turned up from default. That's just, I know that's a thing. That will be a thing. That's part of what they mean by fast-paced. Players will feel faster and move faster. The gameplay speed is turned up, I promise you. Wear and tear system. Manage your players' health, limit fatigue, assess risk of injury, and avoid on-field mistakes by using strategic substitutions to ensure your players are at their best when it counts. This, I think, is just the fatigue system that was thrown into Madden. Now, if it is the exact fatigue system in Madden, we're going to have problems. We're going to have big problems because that system is terrible. It just is broken. Your players will disappear from games. It isn't they're tired, they need to come out for a series. They will start a drive or start, the first possession of the game for you and be gone the rest of the game. You will not be able to get them back in. And even more so, when you get to the playoffs, those guys will not play in the playoffs. So they need to figure out a way to fix that. Maybe they've made adjustments here, but that's essentially what the wear and tear system is going to be, is what we already have in Madden. Hopefully they've made the necessary improvements. Pre-snap recognition, get the intel you need at the line so you can read the field and make the right decision when it matters most. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this is going to be. It could be as simple as IDing the mic, or maybe there's something that you can notice a tendency of the defense from plays you've seen before. Maybe it's a superstar X Factor type motivator or ability like we see in Madden, where these guys are actually able to see what the defense is going to come out in. Or maybe it's you have so much momentum like we have in Madden, you're able to see the defense or the offense's play. I don't know. We'll have to see. Again, they're not super clear on what these things are yet. Just the idea of them. Home field advantage, this is certainly what it's going to be for Madden. The host team has a tangible gameplay advantage in every matchup, which is huge. This matters in the NFL for sure, but it matters way more at the college level. It's not even close. That's why you see so many home teams play really tough, even if they're playing a team that's way better than them. Part of the college game is being so unbelievably loud, and it can ruin an opposing offense. They can't hear the snap count. They can't hear the quarterback's cadence. They can't hear audibles. It creates a lot of problems. And maybe they think they hear something and they jump early, right? That happens all the time. That is a huge part of college football. That needs to be emphasized, and it seems like it will be. Test your squad's road game composure as you face various levels of distractions like screen shaking, missing pre-play icons, and moving play art. We've seen all of this in Madden. Iconic atmospheres. It's a huge part for me. Decibel shaking soundscapes, iconic rituals, and familiar college football traditions that'll make you feel right at home. This is maybe the biggest part of why NCAA 14 is so fun, other than building up your program from nothing, right? It's that the games feel more important. The crowds are more rowdy. The bands that you can hear. I mean, everything just feels real, right? That's like part of the appeal of NCAA 14. So you have pageantry and traditions. Revel in the sights and sounds that electrify college football stadiums every Saturday with traditional team runouts, rivalry rituals, synchronized crowd chants, loudness meters, as well as real game day audio, fight songs, and of course, mascots. It'll feel like home everywhere you look. Now, here's where I'm going to disappoint some people. So, if you look at some of the traditions for some of these schools, that could be as simple as, you got Mike the Tiger at LSU. They got the tiger that comes out in the cage, and you have Mike the Tiger doing push-ups or whatever, right? That's a thing. But you also have, like, at the Swamp in Florida for the Gators, you have Tom Petty plays at the start of the fourth quarter. Won't back down, right? So I'm not sure that EA would have licensed all of these really expensive songs for just a small feature in NCAA. Now, I wish that they would, obviously. I wish that they would, because that's part of these teams' traditions, right? Like Texas comes out to Thunderstruck in the fourth quarter, for example. You have Wisconsin. You have Jump Around. I mean, even at Penn State, Mo Bamba's been very popular recently, right? And Mo Bamba plays a lot of places. Alabama, Dixieland Delight plays, right? I'm not sure that EA would have licensed all of those songs. And now, Wisconsin is not going to have Jump Around. I don't believe so. I don't know that Virginia Tech is going to have Enter Sandman. That's a possibility, but I'm not sure, right? So these are some of the things that it's going to feel disappointing, but I'm not sure all of that's going to be in the game. And I know Jump Around I do not think is going to be in the game, for example, for Wisconsin, which kind of sucks because that's a big part of college football Saturday at Wisconsin, right? But some of that stuff I don't think is going to make it into the game, which is disappointing. Commentary and broadcast. Listen to the iconic voices of Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler as they call marquee matchups, while Jesse Palmer, David Pollock, and Reese Davis take the mic for all your other games. That's cool. Having more than just one commentary duo, that's huge for me because it'll, help differentiate between, some of these games. Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler are unlikely to be calling James Madison against Jacksonville State or, whatever, right? They're going to be calling the Alabama versus Georgia, right? The, potentially any of these top tier ESPN matchups, right? I know SEC on CBS is now going to be a thing, or a thing of the past, and it's now Big Ten on CBS. So is Kirk Herbstreit going to be calling, Michigan, Ohio State? See if ESPN gets the game, right? But they're going to be calling the big games, and then Reese Davis is going to be your play-by-play, I would imagine, for all the other games with David Pollock and Jesse Palmer as your color commentators like Kirk Herbstreit is for the Chris Fowler tandem. And then this is where things really get spicy, of course, for us. Game modes. Bring home the Natty as a created coach in Dynasty or the Heisman as a player in Road to Glory. I will be doing a Road to Glory series. Road to Glory to me is more exciting than Superstar mode. I know I've never really been able to stick with a Superstar mode series. It hasn't been there for me, but you can expect one of your favorite players from one of my series to come back as we do a Road to Glory. Maybe it's Riverside Royals quarterback Adam Daniel. We see his rise through high school and then into college, and then we'll see. Obviously, Riverside's not going to be a thing in the next college football 25 game, so we'll see where he ends up going. I think with a Road to Glory, your aim is to go to a top school. And with the Dynasty, you start with a lower tier school. So, am I going to be, building my player to try and get a commitment or try to go to Texas? That's a possibility, right? That's a possibility. We'll start with Dynasty on the left here. Create a coach and build a powerhouse college football program from the ground up. Establish your coaching staff, recruit the best talent, utilize the transfer portal, which is, I'm very interested to see what that's going to look like in the game because this has never been a thing in NCAA before. No, like the transfer portal, like it existed back in NCAA 14 times, but it was not even close to how it is today. And I'm also curious what this is going to mean for NIL. Are these top schools going to have an NIL budget comparatively to schools that don't have any type of budget? And is that going to be a big difference maker for some recruits that prioritize the NIL deal? I expect so, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Watch your program ascend to the sports pantheon. And then Road to Glory. Live the life of a student athlete with your created player and take home the Heisman as you build an unforgettable college football legacy. Manage your weekly schedule, GPA, and your image. Earn coach trust to get more playing time or use the transfer portal to get the time and the glory you deserve. I can't wait to take the Texas QB recruit path where I go to Texas, don't earn any playing time, and then transfer to SMU or Louisiana Monroe or Sam Houston State, something fun like that. End up getting a desk job. That could be fun. College Football Ultimate Team. You guys know I don't really care about this, but build your dream team of college football stars and legends. Play solo challenges or head-to-head seasons. It does some other stuff probably. And then Road to the College Football Playoff. Experience a new way to play competitively and represent your favorite team in the Road to the College Football Playoff. Climb the pole by upsetting the toughest opponents, make it to the playoff, and vie for the national championship. If you played MLB The Show, I imagine this is March to October. You're pretty much starting midway through or to the end of the season, or maybe it's just one season, right? And then with the college football playoff expansion, you're going to have 12 teams now. So then you're going to have the final bracket, I would imagine. That's an interesting thing. So that is the reveal trailer for EA Sports College Football 25. Of course, if you want to find out how to get it, you can do that. 10-hour early access trial starts July 16th. But I've never really been more excited for a sports game in my entire life. I hope it's awesome. I really do. I'm going to choose to be cautiously optimistic, but there's a lot of good stuff in here. We'll have to see how it's implemented. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're excited. And I'll see you in 2 months because this game will be out. My first video on this will already be out by this time 2 months from now. So super excited for that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.